So as of now, if you remember, we have set up AWS account. We have opt for AWS S3 service, and we have created a bucket. Now, what next? Now I have a bucket where I can store my file. From where I will take file? I will take from Salesforce. That means I want to do some kind of integrations. So as I said in every session, whenever you want to do integration, always check for their API documentation. Okay, because we do not know what parameter they're expecting, what is the authentication they are looking for. So every integration what we are going to set, always we will see what is the documentation they have available. Okay, so now simply if I go to here, okay, let me open this document. So this is a, like you can directly search, this is a docs.awsamazon.com Amazon S3 latest API documentation. Okay, so now what happening? If you want to add an object to a bucket, okay, you must have a right permission on a bucket to add object. So as my user, one user we create its admin privilege, we have that access. Okay, so some more explanations, if you want, you can read through it. So what we do here, like you can see what kind of request syntax going to be there. So host is going to be your host, nothing but like endpoint, your bucket, then your s3.amazonaws.com. Then you can see all the informations what need. We'll see what I'm going to add or not. What is the bucket? What is the header? The content type, nothing but what type of document you are going to send, when it's going to expiry, all information you can see requested here. So you no need to worry for it. Okay, I'm going to write in a easy way so that you'll understand. I'm going to divide in two parts. How can I authenticate? To do authentication, what I need to do? Okay, then how that authentication informations I can use in Salesforce to invoke API to move file from Salesforce to AWS. Now to do that first activity, what we need to do, we have to get the access key and secret key, okay, which will use to authenticate the service. So like to this S3 bucket, what we have, only they can connect who have this access key and secret key, not anybody else. Okay, like you remember in the previous session, we talked about auth parameters. Similar kind of thing I'm going to build here. So for me, when I want to integrate, to which service I'm going to connect, nothing but my endpoint. Then how can I connect? Here I have given the access key and secret key. So I'll show you how am I going to create access key and secret key in AWS S3. Okay, so if I go to my AWS service, okay, so here if you go here, you can see my account name. What do you have? If you go here, then you can see something called security credentials. Okay, if you click on this security credentials, because somebody need to connect, so they need to have my authentication informations. How can they authenticate themselves? Okay, so that authentication information I'm going to get it. Okay, under the security credentials coming from this name. Okay, what do you do here? There are many different type of authentications. I'm going to use the access key and secret key. So that's why you can see here one option called access key and secret key. Click here. Okay, now I'm going to create this access key secret key. Okay, simply click on this create new access key. So if you want to see the access key, simply you can show it. Okay, or you can download the key file. How you want, you can do it. So what I'm trying to say here, so now I have my access key and secret key. So I have to make a call to this access key and secret key to get my details. And if you see, I have already downloaded my access key secret key, which you can see here. Okay, so to from which org I want to connect to that org, I will give this access key and secret key, and from there we can connect to here. Okay, now let's see how am I going to do it. So we understood here how to create a access key and secret key in the AWS, which we will use in Salesforce to connect it. So next session we'll see how am I going to authenticate from Salesforce, how am I going to invoke my services with passing some file or some information what I want to store in AWS.